It's official. It is official. The Atlanta Falcons have officially hired or began the process of hiring Kevin Stefanski as their new next head coach. I predicted this was going to happen earlier today, and we are here now. Kevin Stefanski, head coach of your Atlanta Falcons. Now, there's a lot to break down. There's a lot going to be shown on Twitter. Um, but yeah, it's I wouldn't say it's shocking. I wouldn't say it's shocking. There were reports, there were rumors that Matt Ryan wanted to number one hire a guy that was experienced, and number two, he wanted an offensive guy to help. He wanted an offensive guy to help Michael Penix Jr. And so, from what I'm seeing, I guess he was quote unquote the best option left. So yeah, like I said, I kind of the writing was on the wall this morning because we had Diana Rossini essentially come out and say Stefanski is like putting together a team or putting together his coaching staff to present to the Falcons. When that started to come out, I was like, oh yeah. And then basically they brought him in for a second interview this morning. And then essentially reports were just piling on saying, hey, Stefanski is their guy. So, that's how I feel about it right now. We'll see. I just don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people want Clint Kubiak, and that probably may have been the right choice. But apparently Matt Ryan wanted an experienced guy. And so because of that, that's where we're at right now. So I'm going to go to the comments. Yeah, this is so down. This is very interesting. I don't know what to expect, to be honest. Hopefully it works out. I agree. You just never know. Like, yes, Stefanski won 11 games with a not great roster, but he also won 3 games in the last few years. So, yeah, I'm guessing he's a good coach. It's all about fit. It really is. And I don't know how good Stefanski is. I don't feel good about this, but I'm going to ride my team. Yeah, there you go. That's a good mentality to have. Ride with the team. At the end of the day, let's just say this. I don't know how much worse it can be than Raheem, right? I just don't know. The same way he helped Shedeur. Yeah, I just don't think Shedeur was a good fit. And then I was hearing that basically he didn't even want Shedeur, so I guess he was kind of sabotaging him. I'm interested to hear that we're never going to know. But what that conversation went like in an interview, because they probably obviously said, we want Michael Penix to start. And I want to hear what he said, his game plan for the QBs of the future. Like, that is the stuff that I wish I could be a fly on the wall to hear, because I don't know, like, will he prefer Kirk? Will he prefer Penix? Does he think he can fix Penix? I don't know. Yeah, if he can bring the right OC, I agree. Now, I'm hearing that the guy he was supposed to bring in, I kind of mentioned, I forgot his name. It was, who was he supposed to bring in? It was, I can tell you because I wrote it somewhere. Who was he supposed to bring in? Tommy Reese was supposed to be his guy he was bringing in. I don't know how y'all feel about Tommy Reese, but apparently that's going to be the new OC. I would love if he brings in Mike McDaniel, but I just don't think they have the same type of system. Mike McDaniel is like an RPO kind of, read second level of the defense. Stefanski is more of a run first, use your tight ends, play action. So I don't think McDaniel is going to be a fit. So Tommy Reese is who I'm hearing is supposed to be the OC. We'll see. Wow, I agree. I'm not feeling this coach, but I ride or die despite the coach or QB. I agree. Like, at the end of the day, that's all we can do. And I'm interested to see the GM as well. So I think this I hate to say this leans the way toward the GM, but I'm hearing it was between Josh Williams and Ian Cunningham. Josh Williams of the 49ers and Ian Cunningham of the Bears. Apparently, Ian Cunningham really likes Stefanski. So I'm not saying this will, like, push this coaching staff or push the search for the GM one way or another. But if Ian Cunningham likes Stefanski, that means it could be a hint that the Falcons might be hiring Ian Cunningham. So I don't know. It could be Josh Williams still. But Josh Williams really wanted Sava. And then But everyone else seems like wanted Stefanski, and Ian Cunningham really was the one that was like, give me Stefanski. So I think it's going to be Ian Cunningham because of that. I was actually kind of worried because reports came out that were saying Josh Williams was the front runner, and then that report came out where essentially it was between Stefanski and Saleh. And I was like, we might have a Saleh Williams kind of duo, but Ian Cunningham is probably going to win out. I don't like this. Yeah, that seems like the immediate reaction by everybody. It's just like, ugh, like I feel like Kubiak for a lot of people would be like, let's go. This feels like, I guess. Now, a lot of people said he was the second best head coach available in this. And honestly, he is a 2-time coach of the year. And I honestly said this was going to happen. But, does it like knock me over? No, I think, it is what it is. I don't like this. I agree. That's what a lot of people are saying. I ride with my team. I'm getting I don't agree with this, or I ride with my team. So surely Matt Ryan saw. I know a lot of people are saying this move is mid, but Stefanski did win 2-time coach of the year, and he did win, 11 plus games a few times. Now, I don't know if that was the recent Stefanski, and I think that's why a lot of people are getting kind of like rose-colored glasses because, he hasn't really done nothing recently. But I don't know if that was the QB issue or what, but, does Atlanta really have a solidified, Joe Burrow back there as QB? I don't know. Someone said, good hire. We will be the same position. The good guy hire. Sorry, I misread that. We'll be in the same position in 3 years looking for another coach. He going to fumble Penix. Watch. I just don't know. It's just it is what it is. Let me see. Someone said he's going to bench Penix and trade for. Honestly, I might see him trading for Dillon Gabriel. There would be I wouldn't be shocked if he traded for Dillon Gabriel. 13 quarterbacks. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that was the GM, but I just feel like that whole situation soured a lot of people. Matty Ice knows football. He does. I honestly don't think I think Stefanski's better than Raheem. So at the worst, I think he's one game better than Raheem. So I'm guessing we'd have made the playoffs if we had Stefanski. I don't know. It's just my guess. When the press conference begin? That's a good question. I would assume, obviously, not this week. Maybe mid next week, Wednesday, Thursday, because they haven't really done a press conference with Harbaugh yet either. And he got hired, today technically, but he was announced a couple of days ago. So, someone said I jinxed us. No, I didn't jinx you. The writing was on the wall. This morning, if you thought someone else was going to be your head coach this morning, you're just not picking up the breadcrumbs. Literally, people are saying he was calling around, seeing which coaches is going to come with him. At that point, and then here's what y'all should have really known. Once the Falcons moved up his interview, because it was supposed to be originally, I think, a day later, tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Once they moved it up today to get in front of the Titans, that was it. And then also, I heard, the Titans were between Matt Nagy and Kevin Stefanski. And apparently I heard this morning that Titans are going with Matt Nagy. And once that dropped, I was like, obviously, thinking Kevin Stefanski's going to the Falcons because if they made that decision already, they know they're losing Kevin Stefanski. So I'll be interested to see with the GM. I think it's Ian Cunningham. Apparently, those two have ties. And there was a report that came out earlier that probably last week that Ian Cunningham really wanted Stefanski. So we could have Raheem. Honestly could have, but I think Stefanski is a better game manager than Raheem. And I also think half of the Stefanski job will be done already in the DC hire because we're definitely keeping Ulbrich at this point. I think that was a prerequisite for Stefanski to take this job is to keep Ulbrich. So I think the hardest part for coaches is hiring the right offense, defense coordinator, and special teams coordinator. And I think half of that job is done already for Stefanski because he lucked out with Ulbrich. I don't want him here. Well, I think a lot of people don't. Maybe we'll get a coach a couple years. Y'all, this was supposed to be this was one of the best coaching cycles in a long time. So if we don't get it this year, then we're just not going to get it. I think Stefanski's going to be decent. I think he's going to be all right. I think he's going to make the plays that Raheem didn't make. Now, I don't know if that's a 11 to 12 win team or not, but I think he'll be just a touch better than Raheem. Yeah, someone was saying Stefanski will be the play. Stefanski is probably going to be the play caller. I mean, he's going to have his OC, but Tommy Reese. But the only way I would see him relinquishing play calling if he brings in a guy like Mike McDaniel, which he probably won't. He's going to bring in a guy like Tommy Reese, who he knows, who's familiar with, who has that same style. Stefanski's going to end up calling the plays. Yeah, you said season hasn't even started. I agree. I think Stefanski is pretty good. Like, I don't think he's, Harbaugh or like one of those elites. But I think he's a pretty good coach, honestly. Why would you not get a GM first? I think they already have the GM. I think they have to wait for the I think there was a couple things. I think they have to wait until the team loses, and I think it's Ian Cunningham. I could have totally just made that up, but I think it's Ian Cunningham, and I think they have to wait. Or it could be the 49ers GM, and they have to wait till they're out of the playoffs. I think that's what the issue is with that. And then apparently because we interviewed them for 2 roles for that president of football role, you have to wait a certain amount of time. I think you have to wait till they are out of the playoffs, to be completely honest. But I think they know the GM. It's either Ian Cunningham or Josh Williams, and I think with Stefanski is going to be Ian Cunningham. We'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. Haha, lawman, my typical Falcon brethren. Give the guy a chance. I agree. We'll see. I mean, like I said, it can't be much worse than Raheem, right? Raheem had this team really a Jets loss away from being in the playoffs. So I think we're going to be all right. Falcons on Falcon, I knew it. Terrible hire. I mean, I think that's the same sentiment for everyone. Bad hire, I think everyone loved Kubiak, and I think Kubiak will be really, really good. Once again, it's filtering through the breadcrumbs. Matt Ryan basically said on his interview, we want an experienced coach. Unfortunately, Kubiak doesn't have experience. That's not his fault. That's the fault of nobody. But that's the reality. Kubiak could be amazing, but the fact that he hasn't had experience in the NFL is the reason why the Falcons didn't hire him. Let me see. Terrible hire. I'm trying to get back to my spot. Thanks, Matt Ryan. People like Matt Ryan. So why would you not get? A lot of people keep asking why would we not get I think they have the GM selected already. I think the issue is both of the GMs they're targeting are in the playoffs, and essentially because they interviewed both of these guys already for the president of football role, I think they can't release or officially hire the GM until either they lose in the playoffs or a certain date is what my understanding is. I think they know who they got to hire. And honestly, I think the guy that they're going to hire was in the meeting today with Stefanski. But I think they can't make it official until whatever date. ATL loves mediocre. Look at the Hawks too. Man, I guess you might be right. 2-time coach of the year, dealt the wrong QB, bad management. I guess let's see. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know how much better. I'm guessing the Falcons management is getting better, but we'll see. Give him a chance. Yes. What have you done for me lately? He hasn't done nothing. Penix in trouble. I think he is in trouble, but listen, it can't be worse than Zach Robinson, right? That's all I'm saying. We did it again. We hired a head coach for the GM. I think we know the GM, and I think the GM is on board with Stefanski. Penix is cooked. Like I said, can't be worse than Zach Robinson. He's going to keep Ulbrich. All he needs to focus offensive and special teams. I wonder what were the Browns special teams last year. Let me see what they were. So middle of the pack, I believe. The Browns were top 6. So if they're like that, I mean, that helps the Falcons. I don't know if they'll be like that, but we'll see. We could have got Clint. I know a lot of people wanted Clint Kubiak. I'm telling you, the reason why they didn't. Matt Ryan said it like almost day one when he was hired. He wants somebody with experience, and that's the only reason why Kubiak didn't. Hopefully, Tomlin ready to coach in 3 years. Yeah, I think they would have went with Tomlin if he didn't have to go through all of this, whatever he's going through right now, and they didn't have to like give up draft capital. Arthur Blank has had close relations to the Pittsburgh ownership, and I think he would have easily hired him, to be honest. We were not going to get Kubiak. He's not leaving. I don't think we were ever going to get Kubiak. I mean, I think we could have, but I don't think they wanted Kubiak. I think they were set on Stefanski. To be honest, I don't even know if they were set on Harbaugh. I think they were set on Stefanski day one, and they went and got him. Why wouldn't we wait for Kubiak? I think they wouldn't wait. They didn't wait for Kubiak. One, because they wanted a experienced coach. Two, I don't think they wanted to wait because Stefanski was interviewing for Tennessee and Baltimore. So, like, if the Falcons didn't hire Stefanski today, he wouldn't have gone back to the Falcons. I'm convinced. He would have went to Tennessee or Baltimore. I'm going to trust the process, even though I'm not feeling it. Die hard. Who are we going to hire for OC? Like I said, I think it's going to be Tommy Rees. There's a guy that he worked with, and they similar philosophies. I think Tommy Rees is okay, but Stefanski is going to be calling the play. So Tommy Rees is kind of like a QB coach development guy, and he's going to be kind of overseeing Stefanski on the sideline. But I think Stefanski's still going to be calling the plays. I got a good feeling something different about to happen. Everyone wanted Stefanski to. I agree. Stefanski, outside of Harbaugh, Stefanski is still like the best head coaching option in the NFL. Like if the Falcons didn't hire him, there were like 4 teams signing up to hire Stefanski. It was literally Tennessee was going to hire him. It was between him and Matt Nagy. Obviously, Tennessee didn't get him. Baltimore was interested in hiring him. Miami was interested in hiring him. And at the end of the day, we know for sure either Arizona or Las Vegas would have hired him. So we'll see. Hope this leak is not. The Falcons posted it. It's not a leak. I'm pretty sure the Falcons just said, "Welcome, coach." I don't think it's a leak. I think that's just the coach. I think this is it. Like, there ain't no leak. This is Adam Schefter. Everybody, hey, Falcons are getting Kevin Stefanski. I like the hire. Some people say they like it. Most people say they don't, which I don't mind it. I really don't. I think it could be worse. Give the coach a chance. It's okay, Falcons fan. We're going to be fine. Raheem's gone. Good. Raheem's gone, but also Zach Robinson's gone, but also Marquise Williams is gone. So that's 3 for 3. He's an upgrade from Raheem. I agree. So think about it. I said this earlier. Raheem's fault was what? He cannot game management, which it is what it is, but also he missed on 3 coordinators. Stefanski, half of that job is already done because reports are saying Ulbrich's going to be the DC. So he's already got a really good defensive coordinator. All he has to do is hire a good OC, which he's mainly going to be calling the plays. So he's basically the OC. And then the special teams, which apparently he knows how to identify because they were top 6 in the Browns last year. It's okay. Yeah. Raheem's gone. He's an upgrade from Raheem. I agree. Like, what y'all don't realize is Raheem won, how many games? 8 games. And he was really a Jets win away from going to the playoffs. Stefanski might not be great, but he's better than Raheem. Give him a chance. Matt Ryan, are the blanks a joke? Stefanski has shown he don't know what to do in QB situations. Yeah, that's what I'm most worried about. The Penix development, if they decide to go with Penix. Because I would hate for them to mess around with Penix, say we want Kirk, just kill that kid's confidence because when he was on. Like the fact that Penix has slid this far is just crazy in the people, in the mindset of people. Penix was decent when he was good. Matt Ryan is a fall guy. We're about to fall. I don't think this is that bad. I think it's okay. I just don't think it's that bad. We want Kubiak. Kubiak is not the Atlanta Falcons for a few reasons. One, Atlanta Falcons didn't want to wait, but two, they didn't want a non-experienced coach. I'm here to say 23. Everyone stay positive. It was a whole different situation. It's okay. Bro, the Falcons signing amazing coach was a bad organization. The Falcons needed someone who could control the locker room. Stefanski, I think Stefanski's going to be decent. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm in Cleveland. This will expose the Brown organization. The bigger question is, who are the Browns about to hire? Because, like, I'm not they're like Stefanski is not great. I wouldn't say he's amazing, but like, who's out there that's better than Stefanski? You know what a funny story would be if the Browns end up hiring Kubiak, and then Kubiak just explodes, and the Falcons don't. So Penix is cooked. Anything other than Zach Robinson is okay. Hired the head coach before GM. I talked about this earlier. I think the GM is already hired. I just don't think they can announce who the GM is. Someone said, I have a feeling they may have hit the bullseye with this pick. I think Stefanski's okay. I really do. Let's bring in Roddy White as a wide receiver coach. I'm for it. It ain't going to happen. No, Stefanski is not bringing in Roddy White for the wide receiver coach. He might be good. He was coach of, I was saying he was two-time coach of the year. He's decent. Kubiak's offenses were not the best before Seattle. I agree. And I know someone personally who played for Kubiak who said Kubiak wasn't that guy who people think he was. I'm not going to tell you who it was, but I know someone personally, good friends with someone who said Kubiak was not who people think he is. Situational awareness, he wasn't that great. Just don't let McDonald coaching fool you. I heard Kubiak was not that great, to be honest. Now, that's what I hear. I could be wrong, but that's just what I'm hearing. Who do you think the GM's going to be? Ian Cunningham. Talk about these breadcrumbs. Two names that were released head coaches for the Atlanta Falcons. Kevin Stefanski, Robert Saleh. They were choosing between the both of them. I think they were also choosing between the both GMs. It was Josh Williams or Ian Cunningham. Ian Cunningham was like down for Kevin Stefanski. Josh Williams was like down for Robert Saleh. I think them hiring Kevin Stefanski, yes, they could still hire Josh Williams because he impressed. But I think Ian Cunningham's going to be the guy because not only was he down for Stefanski, I feel like him and Stefanski will gel a little bit better. Because Stefanski runs a similar offense as the old buddy up in Chicago. And so personnel-wise, I think he'll be a little bit better, to be honest. Don't know what to think. Yeah, I'm telling you. Y'all should have watched my video earlier. I laid this out. I'm not shocked right now because I'm told you this is going to happen. Soon as Diana Russini tweeted, Stefanski is reaching out to coaches to put together a coaching staff for Atlanta, you should have known then. Atlanta's going to hire him. So, if you keep asking them questions, I'm subscribing it. You ask who's better, Clint Kubiak? Better Clint and Brian Flores? When did I ask that? I'm confused. My wish is for the Falcons to hire McDaniel. I wouldn't mind McDaniel. The thing is, not Kubiak. Stefanski's not going to hire him. So it is what it is. Put a name on it. I can't tell you the guy. But he played under Kubiak. He wasn't impressed. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, the thing is, I don't know what happened to Stefanski in Cleveland. Stefanski could be a terrible coach. He could be. But Cleveland also was a bad organization. So Cleveland was terrible. Stefanski got there and won, but then they're terrible. I don't know what that is. So it is what it is. Atlanta's a joke, the laughing stock of the NFL, and they like it. We done for hoping they're right, but I think the thing is, here's what I'm saying. This could be a terrible hire. I will 100% agree with all of you. But the thing that has me like, okay, is pretty much every other team wanted to hire Stefanski. So we might be a bad team, but everybody else might be a bad team too. And the other teams are Tennessee, which I know is a bad team, but like apparently Baltimore was very interested in Stefanski as well. So it is what it is. Better candidate. Okay, yeah. The thing is, like I said, the reason Kubiak did not become the head coach is because Matt Ryan did not want a first-time head coach. They've done that, and Matt Ryan basically said that in an interview. They were very interested in Harbaugh, but they kind of figured he would go to New York. He did not want a first-time head coach. Straight BS. Out of all the coaches in the NFL, Matt Ryan chose the worst. Like I said, I don't think Stefanski is not worse than Raheem. That's all I'm saying. That's what. Thank you, people. Kubiak is good, but he was with the Saints. He was the Saints OC, and they weren't good in the Saints. And he did have Alvin. He did have some players down there, and my source, which people swear I don't have sources, but someone that I know played under Clint Kubiak, and there were some chances where he didn't know situationally what was going on. That's all I'm saying. Garbage franchise hired a racist coach. Yeah, I don't know. Like it is what it is. Who do you think will the OC be? It'd be Tommy Rees. I'm pretty sure it's Tommy Rees. Just because Stefanski knows him, and he's a guy like I'm convinced Stefanski wants to call the plays or he wants to run the offense. If you bring in McDaniel, you bring in some other guys like number one, it'll be conflicting offenses, and two, those guys need to be calling plays. Like if you bring in Mike McDaniel, he needs to be calling the offense, not Stefanski. And so I think that's why Tommy Rees is a guy that Stefanski knows. He works well with Stefanski, and I think he runs the Stefanski system. And so, yeah. Stefanski's going to be calling plays, but Zach Robinson was not a great play caller. So I will say this, at least Stefanski will have more fluidity to his play calling than Zach. Falcons, let's get run stoppers to turn this whole team around. You have more offense on offense. Falcons are, I will say this, Stefanski being hired, the Falcons look or expect the Falcons to change their offensive line. And I'm saying this right now. You guys can say I'm making stuff up. Ryan Newsel will not be the starting center going forward. And I'm going to be completely honest. That guard, other than Chris Lindstrom, we all know his name. I don't want to say his name on here. Will probably not be here either. You can say what you want to, but that's the case. Caleb McGarry will probably be here because we paid him. And then, I don't know, you got to check out that left tackle too. He's getting up there in age. People say he was contributing to the Browns' failure. The Browns are failing before he got there. I think the thing is, that's hard to decipher about Stefanski is the Browns are a terrible run organization. Is it Stefanski was that bad of a coach, or is the Browns just that bad of an organization? That's what I'm struggling to decipher. Do you think that? I think Zach Robinson was let go. I don't think Zach Robinson is in the city of Atlanta. I don't think he is. Like, he sold his house and everything, or his apartment with everything. Actually, he had a house. I actually know where Zach Robinson lived. I think, I'm telling you, the Browns are a terrible organization. Stefanski might be, I don't know, he might be the issue, but he also might have hit a lot of things, depending on who they hire. As a Saints fan, I approve this hire. I guess it's a bad hire according to Saints fans. The fan base will be affected. Arthur should know that. The clock is ticking. If this fails, Arthur sell the team. Arthur Blank's not selling the team, I'm being honest. I don't think he cares. Did you see the guy from the Dolphins? Dolphins hadn't been ran well He said he got offered $15 billion, and he didn't sell the team. Arthur Blank's not selling the team. A lot of people want him to do it, but yeah, 3-14. I don't think we'll go 3-14. Schedule is brutal, though. I will say that in a vacuum. But it just depends on how good and bad teams are. Like, we thought the schedule last year was easy, and it turned out to be a pretty difficult schedule. So we'll have to see. Stefanski comes from the Shanahan tree, and possibly Ian Cunningham being. I'm telling you, Stefanski is not as bad. Like, he knows how to coach. At least better than Raheem and Zach. And Zach and Raheem literally almost slipped into the playoffs. So Kirk Cousins will let go for March. I don't know if he will. He is expensive, but they restructured him. So he could be there. I wouldn't want to see him. I probably wouldn't want to see Penix start right away, but I don't know how the knee is. I hope it's not true. That would be a terrible hire. I'm not quite sure what you're referring to. Too much owner interference in Cleveland. Yeah, I just think it's just hard to win in Cleveland, and they won 2 years because of Baker, and I just, we'll see. Great hire. We finally have someone to grow up Penix. I think Penix will benefit from this more than he benefited from Zach Robinson. We'll just see what that ceiling is. Terrible hire. How do you? People keep saying this. How do you mess up in this coaching class? I hate to break it to everyone. Stefanski was league sources said Stefanski was the second best head coach available in this coaching class. Like, literally, he was the second most desirable coach behind John Harbaugh. So, like, he could be terrible, but majority of the rest of the NFL teams wanted him. So I don't know if they're delusional too, but I'm just saying per sources, it's not me just making it up. He was the second most desirable head coach in this coaching class. So I'm saying Blank's not selling his team. Arthur Blank's son, Josh, is already trying to make decisions. It's going to be in the Blank's lineage for the rest of their life, to be honest. What QB has Stefanski grown? He did a pretty decent with Baker, and then they traded him, which I don't think that was Stefanski's call, or they got rid of him, but for Deshaun, and that whole experiment didn't work out. I hope Penix comes back and they do well. That's all I'm saying. So it says, I want to thank you for your great analysis on the Falcons. Big fan of yours. Stay tuned. 2020. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm just trying to tell you, people that argue with me, I'm just telling you the facts. Like, this is what's happening. Stefanski is a better coach than Raheem. He will have a better offense than Zach's offense. Is it enough to win games? We will see. Kevin Stefanski, I think Stefanski's going to be all right. Don't put your name on the line. I'm not putting my name on the line. I think that Stefanski is going to be all right. The team's going to be all right. That's all I'll say with that one. Will he bring Watson or Sanders? No, he will not. He probably hated both of them, to be honest. Don't we play Cleveland next season? I think we do. We will see. While y'all talking about Drew being good, yes. I did see that picture pop up, though, of him with the jerseys out on his pool table and then the Falcons jersey in the background. Well, jeez, what? We got lucky that day. That's all I'm saying. Kevin Stefanski, he did. Well, I think Dylan Gabriel was playing scared because it's just Dylan Gabriel. Stefanski was I'm telling you, Stefanski was the second most desirable head coach in this cycle. Falcons could have been bamboozled, but so would all the rest, the 7 other teams that needed a head coach, or 8 other teams that needed 7, because Giants already hired their head coach. So we all were bamboozled. Who's the GM favorite with Stefanski? I know nothing about Jimmy Haslam's terrible. It's Ian Cunningham. Ian Cunningham wanted Stefanski. Josh Williams wanted Robert Saleh. They could hire Josh Williams with Stefanski, but I think if you're going to hire Stefanski, Ian Cunningham is a better fit. And then the offense ran by old buddy up in Chicago. It's a similar offense to what they run in Stefanski's offense. So I think from a roster building, especially on the offensive end, Cunningham will be a better decision. But I think Josh Williams is a good fit too. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's Ian Cunningham. Yeah, Stefanski had most of the salary cap tied up in Deshaun Watson. He lost a lot of draft picks through the years. I mean, the Deshaun Watson trade will probably go down as the worst trade in history. People thought it was going to be James Pierce Jr. How about that? Who should clearly win Rookie of the Year, but once again, people hate the Falcons. But, you know, it is what it is. Stefanski is washed. If you say Stefanski is washed, then you have to say Harbaugh is washed because he hasn't done nothing in the last 2 years as well. So, crediting Baker's development to Stefanski, I am not. I'm just saying Baker did play well under Stefanski, and before Stefanski got there, Baker wasn't playing well. But Baker's that dog. Baker's always been that dog. I think he enhanced it. I don't think he made develop Baker to be that much better. We have no choice but to give him a try. Question is, who'll be starting QB Penix? I don't know. Jameis Winston. How about that? I'm going to throw that name out there for y'all. Honestly, McDaniels run laps around Stefanski. In what way? Sure. But the Dolphins aren't that good either. So, you know. Does Mike McDonald get a head coach? I'm guessing you mean to say McDaniel. The Browns probably, but I don't know if he wants to go to the Browns, to be honest. Does anyone want to go play for the Browns? 2-time head coach of the year with the Cleveland Browns, and I'm okay with it. I'm all right with the hire, too. It is what it is. Let me get on Twitter and see what people are saying. Obviously, people are hating on it. What is with everyone getting injured? Christian McCaffrey's hurt now. Bo Nix. I feel like this is one of the most injury-prone seasons in the NFL. So per Josina Anderson, 46 minutes ago, she said the Falcons. This is what I was telling you about the breadcrumbs, but she said the Falcons told other candidates yesterday that they were halting interviews. Sign number one. Whilst league sources say that it was Kevin's job to lose. When they interviewed him for the second time, he had the job. Falcons make a move ahead of all postseason candidates completing their games this weekend. So, like I mentioned, the Falcons got ahead because they didn't want the Raheem Morris thing to happen. Apparently, Raheem Morris was the 5th choice for the Falcons, and they did not want that to happen. So they got their guy, quote unquote. Matt Ryan came out and said, "We're thrilled to land a lead by example leader in Kevin Stefanski, who brings a clear vision for his staff." So obviously they're familiar with his staff and they like the staff. That means Ulbrich's going to be on his staff. He says, then this is Matt Ryan. "Our team in a closely aligned," okay, this is a bad tweet. "Closely aligned focus on building team fundamentals, toughness, and active collaboration with every area of the football operation." So they want to be more fundamental. They want to be more tough, a.k.a. run the ball, and they want to be collaborative. Okay. Stefanski is a team-first leader who puts a premium on accountability. Accountability. What is that? Where's that from? That's Arthur Blank. He didn't hold anybody accountable, and he felt like that was the issue with the team. So they hired someone who was accountable. They said his experience in Minnesota and Cleveland has given him a great understanding of the importance of working in sync with scouting, blah, 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 blah. Essentially, they hired Kevin Stefanski. He's the leader, this, that, and the other. So, let's see. What else? So, Diana Rossini tweeted, Miami, which I said. Baltimore, which I said. Tennessee all showed very strong interest in Kevin Stefanski per sources. He also chose to drop out of the Las Vegas search last week. So 5 of the remaining 7 teams wanted Kevin Stefanski. Arthur Blank speaks on Kevin Stefanski. Basically, this is Arthur Blank. We have found a coach with the right vision, focus, and demeanor to lead our team into the future. From all our research and a wonderful visit with him tonight, I believe he's the right coach to take the talent on our roster to a new level and to work with Matt, our new GM, Ian Cunningham, and our football personnel to build a great, strong foundation to basically take this team to new heights. Talked about him working at Cleveland, Minnesota, don't care. Our objective is to win games and contend for championships every year, and that is where our shared focus will remain. Wow. How y'all feel about that? Okay. McDaniel runs. Trying to be optimistic because I like the channel, but the day will be remembered either the day we got the coach or dropped the ball like we did 2016, 2017. I will say this. You could hate Kevin Stefanski, and I'm not sold on. I just want to reiterate, I am not 100% sold on Kevin Stefanski, but he was 2-time coach of the year, and all our previous candidates were not 2-time coach of the years. That's all I'm saying. And Kevin Stefanski did take the Cleveland Browns, which was a bottom feeder organization for the last 5 years. He did take them to the playoffs twice, and I'm pretty sure he won a playoff game, and they went to, don't quote me. Did they go to the AFC Championship that one year? No, but I don't know. They might have. But he did take them deep in the playoffs. Think about what this means on the offensive side of the ball. Drake is going to ball. Bijan balls regardless. Stefanski was also, remember, Stefanski had Nick Chubb balling before he got hurt. Stefanski also had a guy there this year, Tennessee guy. I'm a Tennessee fan. Balling this year. I think Stefanski will be all right. If you can pull that miracle twice in Cleveland, imagine what you can do in Atlanta with no QB. I'm just saying. Who's going to OC with Stefanski? I'm hearing Tommy Reese. He was the guy. He's going to bring Tommy Reese, and apparently the Falcons are cool with that. The thing with bringing in one of these established OCs, which there honestly isn't that many if you really think about it, because Zach Robinson's getting a lot of looks. If you bring in like McDaniel, he will have to call the plays because you're not bringing in McDaniel to just sit there. And Kevin Stefanski wants to call plays. He wants to be involved in this offense. So you're not going to bring in an experienced play caller to basically let someone else call plays when he wants to be involved. Like I said, Tommy Reese is probably going to be a new OC. Falcons are toast. This guy is trash. We've seen the drama that this dude brought to Cleveland. I'll be optimistic. He can't exactly. He can't be any worse than Raheem Morris or Zach Robinson. Do you think Malik Willis will come to Atlanta? No. I don't think they want to pay him. I think they paid Kirk because they're just it's whatever. Malik Willis will demand a lot of money. I'm telling you, look at guys like Jameis Winston. That's going to be your type of guys. Andy Dalton. Those guys are who they're going to bring in to help Penix or play when Penix can't play. It's not going to be your premium guys just because I don't think they want to do that, to be honest. And I think Malik Willis will demand a king's ransom because he can play. Yeah, I think Penix will be back in August. I think ACL surgeries aren't as bad as people think. And I think this was not a. This was a. I just think he'll be back in August. And I think Penix does have a lot of qualities he needs to clean up. And regardless of what you say about Stefanski, he will be fundamentally sound with Michael Penix. I heard you try to sneak in Jameis Winston in there. Do you like him as a backup type role for motivational qualities? I think Jameis Winston will be the perfect guy to pair with Michael Penix Jr. I think Jameis Winston can win you that first game if you need. I think our defense is good enough to win us that first game. I think Stefanski will be okay from a game planning perspective to win that first game. And I think Jameis Winston, that type, Jameis Winston, I don't mind Andy Dalton either. People forget about him. I think they'll win you that first game. Meanwhile, Clint Kubiak's offense is murking the 49ers. Clint Kubiak, great offensive coordinator. I don't know from a head coach perspective. Clint Kubiak's offense is murking the 49ers. What's the score of that game? Clint Kubiak's offense is rolling. None of y'all talking about Seattle's defense right now. They've given up 6 points. Like, and McDonald can coach too. So I think it's Kubiak is rolling, but they're getting the ball a lot too to score. Atlanta will run Stefanski out in 2 seasons. He won't mix the culture. He definitely will not mix with the culture. That's one thing too that I'm worried about. But I don't know. Does Arthur Blank? I feel like Arthur Blank's tired of hiring for the culture, and I think that's why he wants Stefanski. To be completely honest, Falcons do need to be more fundamentally sound. Yes, they do. Bad hire. Hate to say it, but so okay. For the people saying it's a bad hire, I'm guessing you all wanted Kubiak. Other than Kubiak, who else would the Falcons or should the Falcons have hired? Like, we got Kubiak. Like, what if Kubiak said, I don't want the Falcons, I want to go to Baltimore? Who would you all have hired then? Love watching Seattle dominate right now. Yeah. I think that Seattle team's really good. I think their offense is really good. I think their defense is really good too. There's 2 sides of that equation. Miami, Tennessee, and Baltimore accuse the Falcons of underhanding tactics for scheduling an interview for him before theirs, finding out, well, I mean, they going to take away a pick or something? Like, they can't do nothing about it now. That's all known. No one told Baltimore to fire Harbaugh. That's all I'm saying. They want to get mad. No one told them to fire Harbaugh. Tennessee, I kind of feel a little bit bad for, but they got 4 years. They still got a long time before they're ready, so don't worry about it. Terrible move, I admitted. We'll see. I take Winston as a backup for sure, 100%. That's the guy we should be interested in. Go next season if Penix still looks terrible. I agree, but I also think if he looks terrible, then obviously get rid of him. But the NFL has turned into the year or the league of finding these backup quarterbacks or these quarterbacks that have been thrown away and revamping them. And I think there's still a lot of good quarterback talent out there that's low-key being thrown away. So, and I will not mention who I think on that, but just saying. Tyler Algier can get the ball. Tyler Algier will not be here next year. Tyler Algier is going to get the bag, and it's not going to be from Atlanta. I hate that. Atlanta will probably spin a pick getting a backup running back. Not just ACL, it's his third. Yes, you are right. But it's not in the knee that basically was giving him issues. So we'll see. Stefanski will be a step forward. I agree. I think Stefanski is a little bit better than people give him credit to be. I think he struggled in Cleveland, but tell me who didn't struggle in Cleveland. He favors guys. Maybe. At the end of the day, like, you can't. I hate to say you can't be a coach in this league and favor someone, but like, if you don't win, then they'll just get rid of you. So we'll see. Maybe he gets spits the ball. That's what I'm most excited for because he runs a lot of two tight end sets. So Pitts will probably get the ball a whole lot more. If you're a true diehard fan, we have to support Stefanski just like we did Raheem and Arthur until he proves us wrong. Us having a solid defense will help that offense. Agreed. And also, I said this before, Stefanski, the biggest knock on Raheem Morris is obviously his in-game situation, but also his hiring of coordinators. That was the biggest knock on Raheem Morris. But Stefanski, half of that job's already done. Jeff Ulbrich is going to be the DC for the Atlanta Falcons. Stefanski's already got a good DC. All he has to do is get the offensive coordinator halfway decent because Stefanski will be calling the plays. And then special teams, which they had a top 10 special teams in Cleveland last year. Atlanta is the place. No, Cleveland is the place his coach is coming to die. Atlanta is, at least we got Magic City, right? Hawks suck, Falcons sucks. I'm just ready for the Braves. The Braves, I'm going to be honest with you, the Braves might suck as well. So it's just Atlanta for you. It's a weak QB draft class and a weak QB free agent class, unfortunately, this year. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, sign yourself up for Jameis Winston or Mac Jones or Andy Dalton as a backup, and you just roll the dice. Hopefully Penix is back by August, which he might not be. And then we have to figure it out from there. The point is, people wouldn't be mad if they did not believe he could be a good coach. True, but we'll see. People equal other teams. The thing is, other teams wanted Stefanski. And another team that's a pretty good culture is the Baltimore Ravens. They were interested in hiring Stefanski as well. So I'm not just saying, the NFL is a copycat league. And I'm not just saying the Falcons should have wanted Stefanski because other teams wanted him. But there was a lot of demand for Stefanski. The Falcons made a move to get him, which at the end of the day, the Falcons doing something and being aggressive is something different for this organization. So let's just hoorah to that. Watch we lose to Cleveland next season. If we do, it will be perfect timing. Sure. I don't think we'll lose to Cleveland. If we do, it's because the Cleveland defense will be literally like unstoppable, which they are now. And then it might be time to sound the alarms. Yeah, we have to really hope he is. He really was the best option out there for experience and someone competent offense. And objectively, anyone would prefer Joe Brady before Clint Kubiak. Yeah, I think, once again, Matt Ryan harped experience. We want someone who's experienced. And Arthur Blank's not getting any younger. And for him to roll the dice for another 3 years, because Arthur Blank said he likes to give coaches 3 years. For him to roll the dice and a guy that hasn't been a head coach wasn't in the calling cards for Atlanta. I think that was Arthur Blank's number one, must do is hire an experienced coach. Because of that, Kubiak didn't get the call. Also, I said this earlier, I have a source that played under Kubiak. He's not as good as y'all think. Yes, his offense looks amazing in Seattle, which is great. But his offenses have struggled other places, and people are not giving credit to Seattle's head coach and Seattle's defense. Yeah, I'm excited to see how Penix performs just under a new OC. Like, Stefanski might be a bad coach, but he is a competent OC. So we'll see. I want Tomlin so sad to say I'm hoping Stefanski bombs out. Tomlin might retire. Honestly, Tomlin might be done. I mean, you got to think, 18 years. Let's imagine 18 years on a job that, you do a good job and then they end up hating, everyone hates you in your job and you do a decent job. I'm not saying you do a phenomenal job, but you do a pretty decent job. You're a winning job and people don't want you. That can take a toll on not only your coaching career, not only your time at that place, but your whole coaching career. So, boom. Justin Fields, maybe. Unfortunately, I think that Justin Fields train ship has sailed. I hate this for Justin Fields, Atlanta guy, but I think at this point it's literally this contract and then that's it for the dude, to be honest. Birmingham Stallions. I hate to say that, but it is what it is with Justin Fields. Falcons go all defense in the upcoming draft. Thank you, Fontenot. You had the wrong coach on your side. Talk about a blast from the past. Terry Fontenot. He went out his last year and he literally swung for the fence and hit a triple and basically got fired. So, but thank you, Terry Fontenot, for James Pierce Jr. Thank you, Terry Fontenot, for Jalen Walker. Thank you, Terry Fontenot, for Xavier Watts. Thank you, Terry Fontenot, for Billy Bowman. And yeah, shout out to you because read Twitter real quick. I'm going to read it one more time through, and then I am going to peace out. For those new, Falcons hired Kevin Stefanski. It is not official, but basically the Falcons tweeted it. So, it is what it is. Oh, so it's released. Like Bill Callahan coaching the offensive line, Tommy Rees serving as the offensive coordinator. Diana Rossetti tweeted that. So there you go. Bill Callahan, offensive line coach. People say he's the GOAT of the offensive line. So there you go. Well, that's a win. And then, like I said, Tommy Rees, which that just makes sense. Like, I talked about these breadcrumbs. Like, it just makes a lot of sense. So, shout out to Bill Callahan and Tommy Rees. I'm telling you, I told you earlier. Tommy Rees, OC, Ulbrich, DC, Callahan, O-line coach, Kevin Stefanski, head coach. I'm just reading tweets, sorry. Obviously, Matt Ryan loved him, which that was obvious. But I'm telling you, we should have known Stefanski was the guy this morning because the Falcons moved up their interview. Some people say not morally. And then what else happened? Oh, yeah, they were talking about Stefanski was calling around the NFL trying to get his staff together. So we should have known then. Yeah, so I think the staff will be pretty decent. As long as Stefanski can just do all right, I think the staff will be all right, to be honest. Falcons have a very talented team. A coach has to be horrible not to win with them. Yes. All Stefanski has to do is the NFL is really a simple game. All Stefanski will have to do is win the games he is supposed to win, and he will be in the playoffs. That was the biggest fault of Raheem Morris. He did not win the games he was supposed to win. Yes, you can sprinkle in some games that you're not supposed to win, you win. But if you win the games you're supposed to win, you will make the playoffs. And that was the biggest issue with Raheem Morris. All Stefanski has to do is do enough to win the games he's supposed to win. And he will be in Atlanta a decent amount. So, can he do it? We will see. Michael Penix shared on his story. Let's go. Also, will say this. Do y'all see how quickly the Falcons have made this official? I'm not saying there's going to be issues up in New York, but it took them like 2 days to make this official with old buddy. I'm not saying, but if you start the relationship on a rocky note, it's not good. Now, I'm not saying, Harbaugh's going to be bad in New York, but there was a lot of back and forth. Seems like the Falcons, which I like, Falcons are all in. Michael Penix is all in. Atlanta, they tweeting Stefanski. Like, seems like this is a pretty smooth process, which is good for the Falcons. Just for those who don't know, Bill Callahan, O-line coach right now. Ulbrich is looking to be the D-line coach, and Tommy Reese, OC. So there is your Falcons squad. And then, unfortunately, O-line coach Dwayne Lefford is going to be on the move, which, see, the thing is about, this is why I'm not mad. Dwayne Lefford will get a job literally like this because he's good. This is what weeds out the good and bad coaches. If you're good, you will get another opportunity. Stefanski's hyped. He's ready to go. So apparently, Kevin Stefanski and Matt Ryan have been in communication since his initial interview, with the Titans and Ravens also wanting him to interview a second time. Atlanta moved swiftly to get the deal done. I talked about this. Here it is. Atlanta moving swiftly on something. We need to go ahead and give it a round of applause, because when has Atlanta ever moved swiftly for anything? So you might say this is a terrible hire, but the aggressiveness is getting there. It's being shown. So there you go. So here's what's going on with Ulbrich. So Stefanski's done. It's not 100%. It's mostly likely. What Stefanski has been doing a lot of research on Ulbrich, watching the film on him, talking to people that he likes Ulbrich. He's going to meet with Ulbrich to determine if he keeps him. So that should be in the coming few days. But Ulbrich essentially is staying for now. Wait for that meeting, and then we will see. A truly stupid hire is what. Here's what, I'm legit asking. Okay, if you wanted Clint Kubiak, that's cool. Clint Kubiak's the guy. Outside of Clint Kubiak, who would you want to see the Falcons hire? Because I have not seen a reliable. Like I said, Kevin Stefanski was the second most desirable head coach candidate in there, and the Falcons got him. They initially, the most obviously was John Harbaugh, and the Falcons were in the mix. They were the top 3 teams for that, and then Stefanski, they got the second best guy. I think this is a pretty good situation for Atlanta. I really do. A little bit longer, and then I'm peacing out, because I think it's a decent day for the Falcons. I wouldn't say this is hoorah, but I think here is a decent day. Sheesh. Greg Beatles, Josh Blake, Stefanski, Arthur Blank. They all took a photo together. People say 9 total games as Thomas Reese. As a play caller, Stefanski will probably be calling the plays. The reason why he didn't hire McDaniel is because he wants to be calling the plays. Meanwhile, Seattle is putting the BTA on the 49ers. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Like, there's not much news. I would say be dialed in for the the upcoming what's gonna happen. But big news coming up is obviously defensive coordinator. A lot of people said Ulbrich's going to be the top choice. Stefanski's going to meet with Ulbrich. So we'll see. But I would lean toward, yes, they're keeping Ulbrich. And then watch out for that GM as teams start to lose games. I think they can only announce the GM after their team is out of the playoffs. And so if we see a GM announced in the next few days, let me take 2 steps back. 49ers are losing. They just lost. If we see a GM announced tomorrow, obviously it'll be Josh Williams. Obviously, 49ers GM will get the job. But if we see like a little bit limbo and the Bears end up winning, then it's obviously Ian Cunningham. So, but other than that, be on the lookout, like I said, for the DC hire. Ulbrich's probably going to be the guy, but they still have to meet him and Kevin Stefanski, and then GM. Right now, Ian Cunningham's leading. Josh Williams still could be the GM, and Ian Cunningham was all in for hiring Kevin Stefanski. So that's that. But that's all I got. Anything else? I'm not saying he was the second best option, but he was the second most desirable option. So that's a fact. Like, that's not me making up. Now, if you agree or disagree, it is what it is. But he was the second most desirable coach in this coaching cycle. Not Clint Kubiak, unfortunately. It was Stefanski. All the teams with open positions right now would hire Stefanski in a heartbeat. So that is what it is. But yeah, y'all have a safe night. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the weekend. We're going to be all right. Falcons going to be all right. Stefanski's going to be all right. And yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful January. And take care. Peace.